Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Andrew from Dividend Growth Masters. So I've done a few videos on how to use the SEC Edgar database to search for filings that you want. And in today's video, I want to discuss a little bit more about which filings you want to pay attention to and just give a very high-level overview of SEC filings. So all companies that are publicly traded are required they are required to file periodic filings with the SEC detailing a lot of information, not just about their financials, but also about the stock sales of executives, how executives are compensated, news releases, that sort of a thing. So all of this is stored in the SEC Edgar database. And as far as government websites and databases go, this one's actually decently well designed. The functionality is actually okay. It's not the worst and it's not the best, but it gets the job done. So anyways, the first filing that you want to look for or read from the SEC database is the 10K. So the 10K is the annual report companies file with the SEC. So it contains a lot of information about the company. It contains things like what their business lines are, how much revenue they're generating, the balance sheet, the income statement, the statement of cash flows, who the executives are, that sort of thing. These documents are typically very long. For very large companies like Costco or Apple or Microsoft, they could be up to 200 pages, sometimes even more. So there's a lot of information contained in these documents that will be very helpful when you're researching a company for the first time. Something similar to the 10K is the 10Q. So a 10K is filed once a year. It's an annual report. The 10Q is filed quarterly, so every 3 months. And the 10Q is basically just a condensed version of the 10K. It contains a lot of the same information, such as the financials, discussion about what happened during the quarter, that sort of a thing. So again, very helpful document if you want to learn about the most recent results of the company. And if you're researching a company, you definitely want to look up their latest 8K filings. So 8K filings are basically news releases that are deemed important enough that investors should know about. So things like if the company is being acquired, if they're acquiring another business, if one of the high-level executives left the company, or if they're entering a new line of business, or if they're announcing their earnings releases. All of this information will be kept in the 8K. And as you can see, companies file 8Ks all the time. Now, not every 8K is going to have game-changing news, but it's still news nonetheless. Another filing that you want to read is the Def 14A, which is the proxy statement. Now, I've already done a video of the proxy statement, I believe, so I won't go too in depth into this, but it basically details a lot about the company in terms of who the executives are, how much money they're making, and how many shares they own. So all very important information if you want to see if the executives are aligned with you in terms of their interests. And the last type of filing you would want to know about in the SEC Edgar database is the insider transactions. So if you click on here where it says insider transactions in red, it'll take you to all the Form 4s. So a Form 4 is basically a filing detailing the changes in executive share ownership. So it could be because they sold shares, it could be because they bought shares, it could be because the executives were compensated with stock options, it could be because they gifted some of their shares to a charity. So a Form 4 can arise for a number of reasons. And as you can imagine, executive share ownerships change all the time. So you're literally going to see dozens and dozens, even hundreds of Form 4s filed over the course of a year. So there's a lot of noise that you have to sift through when you're reading these documents. But they're obviously important because you want to know what executives are doing with their own shares. So anyways, that's just a basic high-level overview of some of the more important SEC documents. These documents are admittedly a little bit dry in terms of reading material, but they're very important when you're investing. And if you want to learn more about how to read these documents, how to analyze financials, and really get a good leg up against other investors, I'd recommend checking out some of my online courses, especially around financial statement analysis. I'll include a link in the description below, so check that out if you want to learn more about that.